Hey you guys, it's Peter, and I'm back! Of course I'm back, I'm not going anywhere! Boost! Peekaboo, I see you because I'm YouTube famous now. Available in 2021, the album, Dad AF. And I would walk 500 miles and I would walk 500 more. Boost! How are you? Boost! A little side fan for you, a little side action for you. How are you guys doing today? Happy Saturday. Look at me. I know sometimes I do try to clean up a little bit and, you know, do something really nice with my hair and not wear a hat every single day. I had to get up very, very early today, okay? Which was kind of a problem because I was up late last night finishing the book for a true crime book club. That book was The House of Gucci. And listen, everything's Gucci. They even talk about that little statement at the end of the book and that how that's now kind of like a trending statement to say everything is Gucci. But I have to tell you, the book is not true crime, okay? I mean, it really isn't. It's the book that they based the new movie that they made with Lady Gaga. And that was why I suggested it to read for this month. And I'm really glad that we did. Like, I really loved this book in a way that I didn't expect to. And it goes in, I mean, it's extremely long, first of all. But it goes in and it talks about the history of how the House of Gucci started way back in the day from a dishwasher named Guccio Gucci that just wanted to make leather goods, and how it has gone through the years and how Tom Ford became the creative director. And it's a lot of it's about Tom Ford, whose husband recently passed, which is so tragically sad. And it just was so interesting to read. And, you know, as this guy that's grown up and whose high school dream was to go to New York to like Parsons School of Design and be a fashion designer one day, you know, it was cool to read. And I don't know, like it was interesting because Nikki, who's in the book club, hey Nikki, how are you? Can't wait to see you tomorrow. Can't wait to see you at the book club tomorrow. We have our book club tomorrow. But she said she felt like a fly on the wall, and that's very much what it felt like. So I'm really excited about our live stream tomorrow for True Crime Book Club. But I was a little tired this morning. I had to get up, okay, and be at a couple's baby shower for a friend of ours that my husband and another friend of ours organized. He did a very nice job. He is out now celebrating with that friend. They're downtown, and they're having a few beers, I think, outside because it's such a beautiful day in Indianapolis. But I had such a great time at this thing. Got to talk to a bunch of people, and it's so funny because I've been listening to all these true crime podcasts now, and that was kind of like my go-to of talking to some of these people that I hadn't seen for a while. They're like, so what's up with you? And I'm like, well, I'm really into true crime podcasts now. And they're like, which ones? And so I got a couple suggestions for some true crime podcasts, but it just was a really fun morning. And I hadn't planned to make videos today, but I thought, well, tomorrow, we're very busy tomorrow because... Oh, I didn't sing this song. I know. If I put it on again, maybe I will. But we're very busy tomorrow because I have a chili cook-off to go to with my husband for a work function for him. And then I have a True Crime Book Club live stream. So it's been a busy weekend. So anyway, what was I going to say? Yeah, that's it. And I haven't even had my, well, I had like 3 cups of coffee at that thing, can you tell? But I haven't gone to Starbucks and got my coffee today, so this is water. I'm trying to drink more water, you know, and be a little bit more healthy. Anyway, late last night, before I went to bed, I was like, if I make a video tomorrow, because I wasn't sure I was gonna have time to make videos today or tomorrow, I was like, if I make a video tomorrow, I think this is what I'm gonna make my video about. And I wanted to talk about Shane Dawson's secret project. Okay, now I don't know if you guys know about this, but we're gonna talk about Shane Dawson's secret project. And then I started looking at the video that he put up the other day, The Haunting of Shane Dawson, and I was looking at the reception of it, which actually is very interesting when you go look at it. And then I was like, oh, you know what I haven't read for a while? I haven't read, what do you call it? The Reddit thread on Shane Dawson over there. So I went to the Reddit thread, and that was interesting. So I want to talk about all 3 of those things today. But before I do, let me see. Oh, okay, hold on a second. Wait. E and her daughter, Violet, okay, reached out to me. I will give them a little shout out for sending me some tea. I don't know if it's really tea, but I did think this was interesting. A TikToker by the name of Chandler, I will link his TikTok below. He threw this TikTok up yesterday of Shane Dawson merch that he found at Salvation Army. But look at you guys watch it. It's interesting. Here you go.
So I'm currently at the Salvation Army, and they have a whole section of Shane Dawson, whole collection. A lot of them say Shane Dawson. There's nothing in the front of it. And then there's this one where it says Shane Dawson, and it's like a sample, and it just says that. So I'm really confused. There's another one right here. Shane Dawson, nothing on it. Shane Jeffrey, what the heck?
Very interesting, isn't it? So here's this merch that's in Salvation Army, right? Which I'm sure just a whole lot of it was donated, but that wasn't personally owned stuff. That wasn't like stuff that somebody bought, right? So that has to be donated, I would think, by whoever owned that merch originally, which we know that Shane Dawson's merch distributor is Killer Merch. So is Killer Merch donating Shane Dawson merch that they can't sell or put in mystery boxes anymore? Because here's a bunch of hoodies in Salvation Army. How did they end up there, okay? Will Jeffree Star have to make another video? Who knows? Will Jeffree Star make another video and FaceTime Shane Dawson and clickbait it and call it Shane Dawson and I go to Salvation Army? Who knows? But the thing that's interesting to me is if they are samples, like you would think, okay? I mean, listen, I love a good Salvation Army. I love a good thrift shop. I was going to go to the thrift store today that I used to go to in high school for my Peter Does Stuff channel and film around there. But, because I just thought people might want to see the thrift store that I went to when I was in high school, because I've been a thrift shopper since I was like 15 years old. You guys are like, people watch those. Yes, people love my videos over my Peter Does Stuff channel. Thank you so much for the support that I've gotten over there. I've gone to the Dollar Tree and I've gone to the Aldi. People love the Aldi one. I don't know why, the grocery store. But anyway, you have to think, okay, that these came from the distribution center or the merchandising or whatever. I know Jeffree Star will come out or Shane Dawson will come out and be like, now look, what we're not going to do is make Jeffree Star the drama of 2021. Somebody stole those from the distribution center. I reported it. No, I don't have the report, but we don't need to talk about that. It was very upsetting to me. Somebody stole them, and then they must have donated them to Salvation Army. That will probably be the story, okay? But what I have to believe was these were a bunch of samples that were sitting in a box in the distribution center, and they donated them to Salvation Army. And if they ended up in one place, are they going to end up in other Salvation Armies? I mean, is this going to be another Nordstrom Rack video? But if they came from the distribution center, you would think that whoever worked for Jeffree Star would be like, maybe we shouldn't donate. I mean, I think it's nice that they donated them. I think it's fantastic, right? I think anything that you donate is nice. But you would have to think that these sweatshirts that in the tag said Shane Dawson and didn't say anything on them that are obviously, they're not like, correct merch, or they're, mistakes that they can't sell, right? Maybe that's what it is. It's obviously merchandise that they couldn't sell because there was something wrong with it. Because they weren't, printed the right way or whatever, so that's probably why they donated them. But you would have to think that whoever did that or was in, charge of that would say, if these end up in Salvation Army, people are going to make a big deal out of it. It's going to end up on TikTok, and then Peter Monn's going to make a drama video about it, because there's nothing to talk about on YouTube these days. No, you know what I mean? And so they think, well, maybe, I don't know, we shouldn't donate them. But I do think it's very nice that they were donated, but I think it's interesting. Anyway, so let's talk about, first of all, and then I'll talk about the secret project here in just a minute. Do you guys know? Okay, the secret project. So, I went to go look at Shane Dawson's video today. It's been, over 24 hours now since the video's been up. And the video is currently sitting at 3.2 million views. It has 277,000 likes on it, okay? Now, that's a huge, huge, huge amount of likes, right? But it has 40,000 dislikes. Let me just let that settle in for a second, okay? 40,000. I'm going to do the math here for a second, okay? Hold on a second. That comes out to like 14-15% ratio of dislikes. I mean, that is a lot of dislikes on a video. 40,000, okay? That's 40,000 people probably some haters have, you know, troll accounts, so they hit it twice. But that's about, let's say, 35, 40,000 people that hit the like button on that video. That really, to be honest with you, really surprises me. I mean, I really thought the receptionist video, when it first was going down, was like, I mean, it was like 16 or 22 or 60, I think it was like 60,000 likes and like 1.4 thousand dislikes, which that begs the question, how are you at, because if you go, I'll have to go back and watch my video and see what I said when I read the numbers, but how are you at 63,000 likes and 1.4 thousand dislikes, and then the next day you're at 40,000 dislikes? And that's a lot of people disliking that video, okay? I mean, that's a lot. So for everybody saying that Shane Dawson is being received really well back since he's come back, I don't think so. I really don't, you know? And I mean, you could go in and you do a comparison study of like Trisha Paytas or whatever. But like, let's go in and I didn't look to see what the like to dislike ratio was on Jeffree Star's newest video. Oh, Jeffree Star put up his merch 5 hours ago, his old MySpace photos. I haven't watched that video yet. And it's already at 226,000 views. But let's go over here and just look at that video. Well, the Nordstrom Rack video, hold on a second, is sitting at 80,000 likes and 13,000 dislikes. So I guess numbers-wise, it's kind of similar. But let's see the, okay, his video today is sitting at 22,000 likes and 422 dislikes. So no, Jeffree Star is not getting anywhere near the amount of dislikes as Shane Dawson. Now, I have to tell you what's interesting is when you go to Shane Dawson's video and you read the comments. Now, when I originally read the comments from the beginning, it was like, I'm just sitting here as I'm thinking and I'm like, did I just filmed a Peterisms video reading meditations, and they were such good meditations today. And I'm like, did I just delete that video and I filmed this over it? I hope I didn't. I hope I did. Because they were great meditations today that I read on my Peterisms videos. So anyway, I really needed to hear them. But by the way, I have to say, the other day I did my response to the Shane Dawson video, and then I turned around and I did my Peterisms video. And if you don't know, I have a channel called Peterisms, and I read daily meditations from Melanie Beatty and Linda Picone and a lot of different meditation books. Meditation books, oh, I wish I had it right here, but I put them back already. They're like just little books that are like daily affirmations and thoughts and things like that. And I read them, and then I share experiences from my life of things I've learned, mistakes I've made, stuff like that. But whatever the meditation was that day, I can't even remember, but it was kind of like about talking about your past and growing into the future and learning from your past and things like that. And I thought, you know, it's interesting because I turn around and yes, there are moments that I have kind of those conversations over here, but I was like, I have that whole conversation on my Peterisms video, and as I was doing it, I was thinking about Shane Dawson the whole time, and I was like, this is the conversation I really should be having on my Peter Monn channel. So would that be interesting for you guys at all if like I just applied some of those things over here and talked about them instead of it just being drama, commentary, and all that kind of stuff? Because I do have a lot of thoughts about this whole growth process. If you would like to hear that, maybe that would be my video tomorrow. I don't know. So anyway, and I'll, you know, take it from that point of view. But when you go over here and you read the comments, okay, the top comments, it's interesting. Because when I first looked at the comments, whenever I did the video yesterday or the day before, whenever it was, I guess it was the day before. So, what is today? Saturday, so it was Thursday when it came out. When I first read the comments, they were all like unbelievably glowing, like not questionably glowing, like unbelievably glowing. Like, Shane, I'm so glad that you're back. I've been waiting impatiently for every moment. I can't believe that I was able to stay alive without Shane Dawson. What would we do without Shane Dawson? It was like all those kind of comments, right? So when I went over there today and I read the comments, I was surprised. Someone said, a lot of people said if Shane posted another conspiracy video, I'd still watch it, even if he is canceled. But nobody was actually expecting him to actually post one again. This should be interesting. I mean, it's not a negative comment, but it's not like a super glowing comment. Somebody said, only thing haunting Shane Dawson, or only thing haunting Shane is his past. And that's like the 5th comment down, you guys. And someone said it's good to see that Shane's wearing a different shirt with a crying emoji. That's like the 6th one down. Someone said they were making fun of him saying, like, we forgive quickly. And then he said, you know, when he said, I'll let you get to that. And they said smooth. I mean, it's like, I mean, not all these comments are that great, you know? So it's like, I don't know. Someone said, so did everyone just get brain wiped as soon as he released his video for getting all the crap, all the SHI toot he's done? Oh, that was just a minute ago. Hold on. But that's his top comment. So how is that? Something is so weird with Shane Dawson's comments, you guys. That comment literally was a minute ago, and it is a top comment. Yeah, and here's another one from a minute ago. Shane is so funny, I'd be dying the whole time if I ever hung out with him. Someone said, I mean, it's just like, if you go through here and you read the comments, people are in here, and a lot of the people are talking about Andrew not being his cameraman anymore, and they're kind of highly critical of Chris, the new cameraman, and they're like, so Shane's using Ryland's cameraman now, or whatever, which, whatever, let's give him some time. He seems like a nice guy to me, you know, let's see what happens with him. I'm sure to walk into that situation after, you know, everybody has just fallen in love with Shane and Andrew's relationship, and Andrew as well, who, having met him, I mean, he's a nice guy, so I can understand why. You know, it's interesting that that people are going to compare that to them, because whoever is the next cameraman for Shane is not, I thought at first it was Ryland walking in the door, and then I realized it was Chris when Ryland was sitting there on the couch. But whoever that person is going to be highly criticized, and it's going to be hard. It's like with Jeffree Star, you know, Jeffree Star got a new videographer, and people are criticizing that videographer left and right, you know. Well, I mean, you can't stay with the same people all the time, especially when they quit and they go work for themselves or somebody else, for whatever reasons those might be. So then I went over to, that was shade if you didn't understand. Sometimes we do that over here. I know. When your lips are dry as mine, then it's Luna. I don't know much about clothes, but my hair looks first. Did my hairstylist do such a nice job on my hair this week? Anyway, can we just talk about the fact that Peter is not allowed to throw shade? Okay, did you guys know that? Well, I was raised by a bunch of drag queens that taught me how to throw shade and read left and right when I was growing up, right? When I came out into this world of gay fabulousness. But apparently, unlike many of the other drama channels, Peter Monn is not allowed to throw shade. This is shade if you didn't realize, okay? I'm not allowed to read a fool, and I'm not allowed to shade anybody. Because if I do, it's immediately considered bullying. Because in the internet world that we live in today, everybody's lost their minds, and everything is considered bullying anymore. And we have completely taken away the definition and the power away from those people that are truly being bullied. So, you know, we can't throw shade, we can't have fun, we can't make a little joke here and there, blah, 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 whatever. But when Shane Dawson does it in a video about his own predicament, it's real funny, isn't it? Okay. Oh, and when he shades everybody else, because that's throwing shade at people that haven't forgiven him, see? That's called throwing shade. When he does it, Shane Dawson's fine. But when we do it, oh, no, 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 no. Y'all are being so mean to Shane Dawson. So get ready for the shade, because here I'm going to read you the Reddit thread. So I went over to the Reddit thread. I mean, even the title is shade. Well, it's here. That's what it says right there. Well, it's here. So someone says, 2 minutes in, guess Andrew has been successfully replaced by his laboratory-produced evil twin. He cackles and zooms in and out the exact same way. The only difference is the name. So sinister. And someone said, I know. I noticed he laughs at all of Shane's jokes. I feel like it's part of the application to laugh every 2 seconds. And someone said, I literally couldn't make it past 5 minutes in the video. Him cackling every 2 seconds was unbearable. So a lot of people are not happy about the new cameraman. Someone said, it's a weird decision in my opinion. Andrew was a mostly silent, invisible cameraman that we were slowly introduced to, which is absolutely true. He gradually became a character in the video, so his occasional comment or interjection made sense. I have no idea who this guy is, so it's much more weird and annoying to hear him interrupting. But I do think, you know, that was part of Shane tying good things that came from his past and talking about how he had met, I think he said in 2009, when they had done a video together and things like that. So I think that was part of him, like, you know, using parts of his past in a positive way. Someone said, is it Ryland? They're asking if it's Ryland's new cameraman. Someone said, I think Andrew, wait, they got rid of Andrew? What the hell? Someone said, I think Andrew was the one to leave. Andrew quit after Shane and Garrett fell out, which has been happening slowly for years. And that's true. You know, it's like, I got a comment on a video the other day, and somebody said that Garrett and Andrew and all these people were so mean to Shane Dawson. And I'm like, I don't know that we really know the story behind the scenes. I mean, Garrett has made some kind of, not cruel, shady comments, but he's thrown out some shade about the fact, you know, of, like, insinuating Shane Dawson, but we don't know if it's Shane Dawson. And so it's like, people are like, well, what happened to that friendship? And then Garrett and Andrew did the Sweet Boys podcast together, so they're obviously very close friends. I have to believe that something happened behind the scenes, but I don't think we'll ever find out about it. I don't think we'll ever know about it. Do I think it's possible that they could all fly out to Colorado and do a video with Shane and then it would be like, oh, they were all friends all along? Yes. Do I think it's something like that is possible? Do I think they just chose not to work together professional anymore? Yes. The other thing is this, I think people forget, right? Shane was gone from the internet for over a year. Andrew had to find a way to make money, okay? He was Shane Dawson's main cameraman. So if he wasn't going to be filming for Shane Dawson anymore, Andrew had to find something else to do, which maybe that was what spurned the podcast. And he and Garrett were sitting around one night and he's like, what am I going to do? Like, I didn't realize this whole thing was going to fall apart, right? And the Dream Production team or whatever. So, you know, and Garrett's like, well, maybe we should do a podcast together. Or maybe they've been talking about it for a while and the timing was right. Who knows? The jury is still out for me on whether or not they're still friends with Shane Dawson. I don't know. But do I think they'll ever come out and say anything definitively? I would be really surprised. Garrett and Andrew seem to be, especially Garrett, even though he's made a few comments here and there, they're so, like, they're hard to read comments. That they are people that kind of stay in their own lane a little bit, you know? Okay, so goes on and on. It's a lot of talk about the cameraman versus Andrew in here. Someone said, I literally ran to this subreddit when I saw the notification. I forgot that I saw notifications for his channel. Someone said, same, because this video is flooded with positive comments saying they missed him. I commented something along the lines of, did everyone forget what he's done? And was attacked with, but he's changed. Embarrassing. It's insane how good the like to dislike ratio is too. They don't call him, and here we are, 24 hours later, the like to dislike ratio isn't very good anymore. And this comment was from a day ago. They don't call him the king of YouTube for nothing. The guy is immune to cancellation at this point. This is going to sound controversial, but canceling people doesn't actually work. I agree. He goes on to talk about some stuff. Agreed, but I also think Shane is something of a genius when it comes to navigating YouTube controversies. I wouldn't say he's a genius. I think he waited out time, and I'm actually going to catch this for once, you guys. I cannot believe it, but my battery's about to die, so hold on a second. Okay, I'm back. But what I was going to say was, I actually don't think that Shane is a genius at YouTube controversies and fixing that. I think Shane is given a lot of credit for going in and, you know, helping Graveyard Girl fix her career, of which he never went back and followed up with that to see how she was doing. And Eugenia Cooney, he really hasn't gone back and checked in with Eugenia a whole lot. And then is, I don't know, given some honorable mention for fixing Jake Paul. Jake Paul didn't need fixing. Jake Paul is still killing it to this day, right? And then going in and fixing TanaCon. Well, here's what I have to say about all four of those things. First of all, I think to sit down with Graveyard Girl and just overall look at her channel, this is basically what YouTube managers do. They tell you about your thumbnails. They look at your algorithm. They look at what videos of yours are doing the best, okay? Shane watches this stuff so closely with his own that he knows how to go to, he could do it with any YouTuber. He could take any YouTuber and say, well, people are clicking on these thumbnails more than others. This isn't working. This isn't working. You should do this and whatever. It's not genius, okay? And that's what he did with Graveyard Girl. I actually think it's not super nice that he did this whole thing with Graveyard Girl and then never turned around and went back and checked in on Graveyard Girl to see how her career was doing 5 months later, to see if she was really growing or changing or whatever, right? And then this whole thing with Jake Paul, like I said, was whatever. And, you know, then the thing that he did with TanaCon, it's like, how hard is it to sit down with Tana Mojo? And he couldn't even do that and look in her face and say, you need to take responsibility for this. This was your idea. You need to take responsibility for it. He kind of said that, but not really. And I know, because I was confrontational of him in the video coverage that I did of that. And man, he sent me a message that he was not happy. He was like, this is my moment and people really like my TanaCon thing. And, you know, can't you just let, people have been hard on me all these years and can't you just let me have this moment? I was like, have this moment. I think I was just like, hey, I'm sorry. Like, I was at the time, I was like, I don't even know what I said. You know, like it really wasn't that deep, but you didn't hold her accountable. I mean, let's be for real. I have no clue what I said in response to that. But I could have been like, hey, it's TanaCon. It's just not that deep, right? But anyway, so I don't know that I think that he's the genius of fixing careers, you know what I mean? So, I mean, he never fixed his good Judy Trisha Paytas' career through the years. So, I'm just not convinced that Shane Dawson is the YouTube fixer. I'm just not, okay? But anyway, people were talking about that on here. Hold on a second. Someone said, wow, I feel like when I finally realized how SHI took he was, a lot of people were feeling the same. Sucks. Yikes, seems they did forget what he had done. And someone said, I don't think they actually forgot about it, but people can change. But on the internet, once you post something very offensive, even though it was from years past, you can't really get out of it even though you've shown a clear life-changing path to the audience. We've changed, so did they. I don't really like Shane's personality, to be honest, because he can sometimes be too much for a 30-plus-year-old man, but I am happy he's back doing what he loves the most. Well, I mean, be too much is what I say. You know, this is where I say the jury is out, okay? Like, for me, there were a lot of very similar moments of Shane Dawson's humor to 5-10 years ago, okay? Like, there were elements of it when he did this video. And I don't think he is even aware of it. Like, I don't even think he hears it in his head, how it's very similar. But if you lay old videos down next to each other with this video, a lot of his humor is the same, you know? Do I think this is an edited version of Shane Dawson? Yes. So for me, the jury is still out on whether or not he's really changed. I'm not convinced by one video where he has come back and said, you know, I've worked on myself a bunch and all this kind of stuff. I'd also like to hear how that process works for Shane Dawson, you know? And, you know, people are always like, what do you want from these people? Why? Well, I mean, if you've changed so much, share that with your audience. You have a huge audience. What a powerful statement to say, this is the work that I've been doing in counseling. Let me share it with you guys, you know? I've talked a lot about it on all my channels. Hell, I've worked with my sponsor. I've worked with a counselor. I looked at the things from my past that I wasn't proud of. I asked myself, who was I at the time that I thought that was okay? I inventoried those issues. I inventoried why I acted that way. And I looked at, well, why did I act that way? And why did I think that it was okay? And who am I today? And how have I changed over time? And who do I want to be going forward? And what things do I need to do? It's not that deep. It really isn't that deep to just say, well, I sat in a room and I talked about these things with a counselor and talked about that. That would be, like, this is, for me, where with a lot of these YouTubers that make these huge pivotal changes, it's like they never show the growth. They never show the change. They just say, I'm a changed person. I'm different than I was. Oh, really, really? And then those people that love those people are like, oh my God, really? Well, they've changed. How do you know they've changed? Well, they said they've changed. And they've shown that they've changed. Well, no, not from one video have we seen that he's changed. No, you know? And that's where it's problematic, okay? Because if you love Shane Dawson, what you would want to say to somebody that you love deeply, okay, that you would take a bullet for and all these kinds of things that people say, if you really love him that much that you just couldn't live without him, then you would say, well, what changes have you really made? And I hope that they're sticking because I want you to be successful in the future, right? People think that all these things that I say over here are because I don't like somebody or whatever. No, it's because I want people to be successful. But to be successful, you have to be aware of how that own change process happened for you, you know? So people go on here and they say, didn't YouTube remove his monetization? Why are there ads? And he goes in there and makes some joke about, well, Ryland said, is this a sponsored video? And he was like, no. And he makes some joke about never getting sponsored videos. You got a lot of sponsored videos on that series you did with Jeffree Star. I think it was also sponsored by all those pallets that you sold. Let's just be for real. Then somebody puts a synopsis of everything that happened. Infuriating to watch. Can't finish one sentence. Thank you for doing the Lord's work. Why? Okay, so people go on here and they have all this kind of stuff to say. Shane coming back before Jenna Marbles. It's a great day to yell at. Did you guys see Julian's video? I love him so much. Jenna's fiance. I love him so much. He just, I don't know. They just, for me, are such an endearing couple. You know, I think Jenna Marbles should come back when Jenna Marbles is ready to come back. I think that what is so different about the Jenna Marbles and Shane Dawson thing is that people don't understand, because I've seen a lot of people now, and I have a lot of videos I've watched, compare the Jenna Marbles statement and the Shane Dawson statement, because, you know, Shane Dawson referenced it or whatever around that time it happened. And I'm like, no, Jenna Marbles left YouTube because Jenna Marbles chose to leave YouTube. Shane Dawson left YouTube because he was forced off YouTube. Because if he didn't, people were going to just be, I mean, if he had not left when he did, it would be 10 times worse, okay? But James Charles is back, Tati Westbrook is back, Trisha Paytas has been canceled 15 times and is back, and now Jeffree Star continues to make videos. They made the video testing the water, and so Shane Dawson's like, it's safe to come back in now, okay? And that's what happened. Now let's talk about this secret project for a second. Here's my question, okay, that I had late last night. Do you remember when Trisha Paytas and the Hair by Jay situation happened, right? Okay, take you back a second. Jeffree Star's hair person, who he supposedly allegedly fired and then hired back real quick and was posting pictures with 2 weeks later because it was not true, when he said, good morning this morning to everybody except for the guy that used to do my hair. Remember that? When Jeffree Star said that and then 2 weeks later was posting pictures with Hair by Jay and didn't explain it at all? All that? Okay. When Hair by Jay, who made the horrible, horrible statements towards Trisha Paytas. Okay, you know what I'm talking about? And then Shane Dawson was basically like, hey, I don't like drama or confrontation. Can we just forget it? And Trisha Paytas was like, forget it? Oh, because you want to stand by your cash cow, Jeffree Star. Well, we're not friends anymore. Do you remember all that? And apparently Trisha Paytas has come out and had some things to say about this. And I might make that video as well about saying, like, you know, that they wish Shane Dawson all the best and all this kind of stuff, right? But at that time, do you remember that Trisha Paytas said that Shane Dawson had a project that he was working on and that it would be fantastic? Do you remember that? Trisha talked about it, I think, in a video response that she did to the whole Shane thing, and I think that they also talked about it on the Frenemies podcast, possibly, about a project that Shane Dawson, I know because I mentioned it in several videos, a project that Shane Dawson was working on, right? And Trisha said that it would be received very well because Shane knows how to do what he was doing. That was when I speculated that it would be this whole video of him going back in time. You know, and this is the other thing I have to say. It's interesting that he comes back with just kind of this like, hey, funny video and throws in like answering stuff in the middle of there. Hey, great. That was smart. It was YouTube smart, right? But at the same time, it's like, but you don't feel like to all of the people that are disappointed in you that you owe them any kind of message or answer on what you've learned in the last year or sitting down and having any kind of conversation with them at all? Like, you don't feel like, to the people that watched you for years and years and years and are disappointed in you, not the people that are your haters, not the people that can't stand you, but the people that watched you and invested in you and bought your merch and bought your palettes and bought this and bought that and watched your videos and, you know, on and on and on. You don't feel like maybe in some way you kind of, they deserve, I don't know what the right word is, you know, that maybe it would be nice, okay, nobody's owed that, but maybe it would be nice or kind to sit in a video other than just kind of what you threw in here and say like, hey, like, I don't know, I feel like I need to talk to you guys. You know, you've supported me all these years and I really, really appreciate it, and this is what's been going on with me. I don't know. Do I think that Shane Dawson has the ability to have genuine moments like that? It appears that he does in his video and in the SIP podcast that he is, right? But where's the secret project would be my question. And what was the secret project, okay? I do not believe that the secret project was a horror movie because he announced his horror movie stuff after that. He's wanted to do a horror movie forever. Yes, I know that, right? But I don't believe he has a horror movie posted or has it written or is starting to put it together. At that time, Trisha indicated that he had some project that he had been working on, okay? So what was that comeback project that he was going to do that he has now chosen not to do because Trisha Paytas apparently screwed it for him, okay? What is the project that Shane Dawson was going to do? It's not this, and it's not the conspiracy thing that he's the second part, the haunting of Shane Dawson and all that. It's not that because they hadn't lived in Colorado at the time. They hadn't even at the time been going to Colorado that much except for holidays. So I don't even believe that Morgan lived in Colorado at that time. So I don't think, or if Morgan did live in Colorado, it was just shortly after that all that stuff happened. So it wasn't like he was there filming this scary haunted movie then. So nothing that he just put out is the project. Then what is the project that Trisha Paytas was talking about? What was this huge comeback project that Shane thought that he could return on that he has since not chosen to return on? That's what I want to know. I want to know what that secret project was, you know? So that he decided instead of coming back with that, because of everything else that's come out, that this was a better choice. I don't know. What do you guys think it was? Let me know in the comment section below. I love you guys. I hope that you're having a magically amazing Saturday, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.